What's going on, y'all? So listen.
What's going on, y'all? I'm at work, as you can see, but no, I really wanted to get this out the way because I was literally debating with myself if I wanted to do an extra video, but people been hounding me. But anyway, I'm glad that I actually waited a few days, or at least a day, before I actually said something about this and I actually read the whole situation about what was going on, because I don't know, like right about now, the theme of domestic violence and abuse is coming up, and it's coming up a little bit too often for me, and it's quite depressing because I don't like to hear about anybody getting abused, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, a child, an adult. It just does something to my spirit. Like, it literally makes my heart heavy, okay? And to know that what also leads to that feeling is the fact that, especially if they are in the industry or whatever, or it's against somebody that's powerful, that there are going to be people, men and women, who are going to say, well, why did you wait so long? And you're just after the money, or, well, you obviously did something to provoke this and all of this stuff, and I don't believe you, and you're just this, and you knew what was going on and all this stuff, and you stayed this long. And I hate those, and it's never without those comments. And it's like, in 2023, you would think people would fully understand the psychology of abuse. I literally had, when we was talking about this situation, if you don't know, it's the Cassie suing Diddy situation, which has technically been resolved, but it's not really resolved if you ask me. When it initially came out, which I think was Thursday, baby, I was out there chilling with my family. Okay, and this popped up and I said, whoa. But then again, that whoa was more so somebody finally came out and said something, because throughout, I'm 36 years old. So I was around, during that time where Diddy was having a good success with, his solo career and all of that stuff. It was off the heels of, the Bad Boy Entertainment with Biggie and everything like that. We was there making the band when he made them walk across the bridge for the cheesecake, all of that stuff, and then you had Danity Kane and all the Day 26s and that whole success or whatever. We was all enthralled. You cannot deny that he was putting out some good music, some good stuff or whatever, but they have always been rumors and always have been stuff going around about Diddy that he is not a good person. All right. And so I took that in the back of my head. And so when this stuff came out, I was like, And then in recent years, you've seen people coming out about how he does shady business and everything, allegedly. The artists that he has messed over and all of that. And then you get this whole situation with Cassie coming out and actually being a brave person, because let's be honest, she was brave, okay? I don't care if it took 20 years for her to say something. She said something. You cannot force a victim of domestic abuse, domestic violence, to tell their story when you want, or when you will prefer them to tell their story, okay? And it just makes me mad and piss me off that even in this day and age where we know that y'all are old enough to understand the psychology of abuse, the fear behind it, that all of that stuff and everything, where some people cannot get out so easily. Some people are literally trapped. I literally had somebody that was on my, we was talking about it when it first initially broke, and I was glad to see that more people were saying that they believe Cassie, Miss Cassie. And it was one particular person that stuck out to me, and they followed me and, tried to butter up the exchange afterwards and say, let's not do this because I love you and I support you. No, I'm going to speak my mind, okay? I'm going to speak my mind, and I feel like if you have said something offensive or insensitive, I'm going to call it out, all right? This person was also in she endured sexual abuse, domestic situation, right? And her whole thing was, well, why did she stay so long? Because when I was in my situation, it didn't take me long to get up out of there, and I left with nothing but my kids and all this stuff, and now I'm out here thriving and all this stuff and woo woo woo. You know, if he wasn't a broke man, you think she would have stayed as long? Okay, I'm sitting here like, whoa, 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 whoa. The fact that there are people who have endured and been through sexual assault, sexual abuse, domestic violence, who will shame others as if their experience is the same or should be the same as your experience. Like, come on, that really, I was so disgusted reading that and doing that back and forth. And when I said, no, but you don't realize that when you putting this stuff out there, and it's very insensitive, you know, it's very offensive to those who probably reading this and they're still stuck in that situation. Okay, and I'm sitting here like, do you not understand that abuse really ain't got nothing to do with financial reasons? Not all the time. There are so many people, women, let's just say women, okay, since this is a heterosexual relationship, there are so many women who are out here who make more than their men, and they stay with them, and they probably getting abused or have been abused. There are people who are in broke ass relationships, both of them, regular everyday people who have been getting their asses abused and beat on for years and have not left that person. We see it so many times, and to put that out there like that, I said, wow. I don't know, maybe I was just lost in the sauce. I just didn't know that. I just thought it would be people coming together, especially if you experience sexual assault or abuse or whatever within a relationship or any type of assault like that, that people would just come together and be like empathizing with it, because you've been through it. You know what it's about. I didn't know that they'd just turn on each other and just be like, well, she shouldn't have stayed long. You know, of course she was getting stuff out the deal and all of this stuff. And I'm sitting here like, wow, this is crazy. That really disgusted the hell out of me. I didn't block the person, and it's like she's on this journey to prove that, you know, oh, I got out first, I got out quicker, and okay, have a cookie. You should be trying to uplift these people, you know, instead of just trying to compare and contrast and, you know, why this and why that. Question the abuser and not the victim. Okay, the alleged victim in this case. You know, it just really disturbed me. And then when the news first broke about the Diddy situation, that this lawsuit was coming for the being abused for like 10 years in this relationship, the headlines, let me just get on this before I forget. When the headline first broke, it said that Cassie was suing him for $30 million. Nowhere in the actual lawsuit did they disclose an actual number, because I literally just read that lawsuit again, through and fucking through. There is not one mention of a $30 million settlement. What was said was, allegedly by his lawyer, is that she was trying to get $30 million out of him. She never put that up in a lawsuit. So I don't understand why the headlines will put it like that. And then they said also that he did offer her an amount, an 8-figure sum amount, to put this all behind and not to come out with anything, and she rejected it. All right, so instantly when you see that $30 million in the headlines, and it was on every freaking blogs, so of course you got people that's gonna think that, oh, she really just after him and this a money grab. Cassie has been doing fine with her husband and her family. We don't see them struggling. And when it comes to certain situations like this, because people was trying to understand how come, you know, and then it wound up getting settled, because at this point, let me tell you something, I feel like he's guilty. I'm more than positive that he's guilty of some of the other things that she said in that lawsuit, and it was very, very triggering. And I've never gone through abuse, but I've seen abuse. My mother was abused by my father. Okay, I've had people in my family who have went through abuse. I lost an aunt who was murdered because her kids were getting abused by one of their boyfriends, and he wound up taking a gun out and shooting up the place, and my aunt was trying to protect them, and she took the bullet. and died. Okay, so, to put that out there and to make it seem like it's just a money grab and all this stuff, it was just it's automatically for people to think, oh, it ain't about getting justice, it's about you know, coming out here just trying to get some money and all this stuff. Times must be hard and everything of that. And I'm just like, that's not even what it's about. And then, you know, when he settled so quickly, that's what really solidified it for me that something was going on. It wasn't necessarily that, oh, she went on ahead and accepted the settlement and everything, because literally less than 24 hours when the lawsuit came out, baby, the next day, Diddy and his lawyer said, listen, we're going to cut this shit short. You got your stuff. We're going to agree on this settlement, and you can go about your way, and I'm going to go about my way. That's just what it was, you know. And what it does not say to me, and I don't understand how other people get it, that it was a money grab, because you got all these fuckboy rappers that's coming out that nobody, you got Peter Guns and Rich Dollars. Rich Dollars, I hate to say this, but what exactly, ain't your daughter going through some stuff where she had to basically defend herself from an abusive partner? Peter Guns, do you even see all your kids? Then you got Slim Thug saying, you know, nobody should be able to sue for money or whatever in an abuse allegation or something like that. Yeah, they should, for their pain and suffering. I don't care if it's a man, I don't care if it's a woman, I don't care if it's 15 years later. And let's be clear, the situation is, you know, people was like, damn, I wish they, you know, so we ain't gonna go to trial or nothing like that. There was never gonna be a trial because it was a civil lawsuit, all right? A civil lawsuit versus a criminal lawsuit. Now, if it was criminal, 9 out of 10 they would have went to trial. Civil, the reason why people, and I had to look this up myself, the reason why people would rather do a civil lawsuit is because it makes it easier to, you know, find a defendant in the case more responsible. Whereas if they would have did it in a criminal way or whatever, and it went to trial and all that stuff, the defendant got a little bit more right or whatever, a little more leeway to do a lot of stuff and can hold the shit up and probably can find some, you know, loopholes here and this or whatever to wiggle out. And it's not a guarantee that they're going to be found guilty of anything. So it's when the civil lawsuit, they can find guilty at least of a couple of things, if not more, or at least one. But with the criminal, they probably can come out of that and not be found guilty of anything. Case in point, remember the O.J. Simpson trial? The O.J. Simpson trial, when O.J. was accused of killing his wife and her friend, right? He was found not guilty, even though people know that he did that shit, or he orchestrated it, or he paid for it. He had an involvement in it, right? On the actual criminal trial that made headline news and was all on TV and everything, he was found not guilty. They did a civil trial. The family of the guy did a civil trial. He was found guilty, meaning he was liable and responsible for his death. And there was a monetary value that was put on that till this day he has not paid. So it's no guarantee that she's going to get some money, or that if in the civil case that they're going to actually get the money or whatever. I mean, it is Diddy, you know, he almost a billionaire, so it's a possibility that she is. But truthfully, it's not about the money when you do certain civil cases. And in this case, even though there was a settlement, even though there was a false number that was put up there to make it seem like Cassie was doing it for the money, I don't believe that she was doing it for the money. And after reading that lawsuit, no, I don't believe it was for the money. It was literally one of those situations, in my opinion, where finally somebody felt big and bold enough to, and brave enough to come out against somebody who is powerful within a big industry. Somebody that has so much stuff and dirt on them. Baby, when this shit came out, so many things were coming out against him that I had even forgot. And it's like, you trying to pull away, you know, you trying to prove that you're not this terrible person, but it's like, look how you treat your artists. You know, it's documented. The way you treated some of your artists, people going back, pulling up. Now, see, when stuff like this happen also, they go back and they pull up, you know, clips and stuff that really ain't got nothing to do with it, and have people try to twist it to make it fit the narrative. Some of y'all did that too. But it's like, look how quick Jennifer Lopez left. Jennifer Lopez said, and ain't no telling what was going on in that relationship. You know, if he was able to, you know, he had different relationship. The whole situation with Kim Porter, you know, there was history of alleged abuse that was going on, and it was all getting you know, covered up and all of that stuff. You know, when he started pursuing Cassie, she was 19 years old and he was still with Kim Porter. Cassie was in a fucking relationship herself. He got pissed off that she got invited to an award show and she brought her boyfriend, and he talked about no, this is according to the lawsuit. No, baby, I only wanted your ass. That's just what it was. Cassie was 19 years old. He was 37 when he started seeking her out. And not only people like, why didn't she leave? Why didn't she just leave? Why you stay for 10 years? He kept her doped up. And when he had initially signed her to his record label or whatever, signed her into a 10-album deal. I said, what? Now, you know good and damn well, after hearing and seeing that performance on 106 Park, 10 hours, girl, you know, he knew what the fuck he was doing, okay? And it pisses me off. It pisses me off because I have a problem with people who prey on young people, and we see that in the industry a lot, even with my own fave. You know, because I know somebody gonna bring it up. Even with my own fave. When that shit first happened, I just said, oh, what is this? Okay. And then when it comes to like, there's always a history of the drugs and, you know, getting them so doped up. And people don't understand how grooming works. And people think that when some people hear the word grooming, they hear it and they think, oh, that means that the person got them as a child and they can't say or do anything. You can groom somebody at any age for anything. It's called manipulation, it's brainwashing, it's all of that. That's part of grooming. And that's exactly what he did. Beat this girl ass and then brought her gifts afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Beat her so bad, had her freaking medical records directly sent to him, you know? And I just would never feel like this lady is lying because she took a risk. She took a risk to be, when a person comes out against a high powerful person like a Diddy in the industry or in any field, I guaranteed you they sat there and they thought about all of the reaction that would happen and all of the consequences. That it's a possibility that they could be blackballed in the industry and people would be looking at them differently. You know what I'm saying? And saying that, oh, you're a liar because you waited so long and all of this stuff. Or, you know, you was just out for the money because you stayed and everything else. He controlled everything in that lawsuit. The homes that, you know, he brought her multiple apartments, and made sure they was walking distance from his place, and, you know, he would come in anytime. And then the whole thing about the sex workers and, you know, making her do things with these sex workers while he watched and all this stuff. It was just disgusting. It was disgusting. And then when she's trying to leave him, finally, it's you are her in her apartment. You sexually assaulted her in her apartment because she wanted to leave, because she didn't want to be there. Isolated her from her family. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. We should know this by now. You know what I'm saying? This should not be surprising, the psychology of an abuser and a serial abuser. Because again, people were bringing up things about what happened to Kim Porter. And then it's like, y'all not judging. We're going to judge. Don't judge a person as to why they go back or why they stay or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's manipulation and all of that stuff, you know? So I would never judge a victim who stayed in a relationship and were getting abused. I'd just be glad that they got out. The length of time don't matter to me. And we can all sit here and say, oh, the first time somebody put their hands on me or they raise their voice at me, it's over, it's done with. We can say that now because I've said that too. But we don't know how we truly going to act and respond when we in that situation. And hopefully we don't have to be in that situation, you know. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people who do. And this was very big of Cassie. I don't care what nobody say. This was very big of Cassie to come out against this man because he is a powerful man. You know, I wonder what's going on with Caresha. Caresha hasn't said anything, which I don't expect her to. You know, I do remember that interview where she was saying how he just liked to have sex all the time. He never stops. You know, and so it's just like I don't know. I always, like I said again, and I don't care who feels a type of way, even I just look at people, especially a grown man who is praying after somebody that is young, 19, 20 years old, 18, 19, 20 years old, all that stuff. You're 37 years old. What do you want with a 19-year-old? You can mold them. You can control them. You're almost fucking 40. You didn't live the majority of your life already. You didn't have some exciting, crazy things going on. And now you want to destroy this girl's life. It's crazy. And so when the settlement came, because all of this mess was coming out against him, people was bringing up stuff. You had Aubrey O'Day, who just been on Diddy's neck forever. And some of us looked at her like, girl, shut up. But now it's like we got to eat our shit. And this girl was really just doing what she needed to do. Nobody wanted to take her seriously. And I will attest and say that, hell, when she used to come out with some stuff, I'm like, girl, it's just you being better. All right. But now it's like different members of, like, you know, you had Don Richards come out in support of Cassie. You had D Woods. Bitch, we ain't heard of D Woods, or at least I ain't heard of D Woods in a minute. She said, girl, D Woods ain't tweeted on her Twitter for at least a couple of years or so. Mama said, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to say this, Cassie, I stand with you. I said, God damn. Next thing you know, Aubrey gets on the phone. Aubrey posting screenshots. She was on a long conversation with D Woods. She was on a long conversation with who she was? Babs from Making the Band, the first group, and with what's his name? Willie from Day 26. And I literally said, if anybody from Day 26 come out and say some shit, I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna be cute about the abusive nature or the violence. Because if you ever watched Making the Band when Day 26 was being formed, oh my God, I felt so bad for Q. Q was going through it, okay? And then you see all of the downfall and how he was not, the way he treated his artists or whatever. Like, come on. The fact that Kid Cudi, people confirmed in himself that at one point Cassie and him was either together or talking, and when Diddy found out, he threatened to have his car blown up, and then his car blew up in his driveway. And Kid Cudi confirmed that shit. I said, what? So you mean to tell me he was playing, he's the real life Joker? He's the real life Joker. Like, are you serious? That's scary. And it's always the one that's just so funny and all over the place or whatever. And then they get serious all of a sudden. That's the ones you be having to watch out sometimes. You just be having to think like, what's going on there, you know? But the details, you know, I knew it was going to be some shit in that lawsuit because, baby, the first page of it said, this is a trigger warning. I said, wait a minute, I ain't never seen no shit like that. Okay, I have never seen no shit like that, and I've never really sat down and read somebody's lawsuit before. That thing was 35 pages, and the whole time I'm sitting there like this. I cannot believe somebody would put somebody through all of that atrocity, you know, all of that pain, all of that hurt, and you wonder why the girl's suing. Listen, let's be real. Let's be fucking real. If they would have put him in a criminal, and then it also could be the reason why they didn't pursue anything criminal because of statute of limitations. I don't know, okay? I'm not a lawyer. I did study law for a second, but I'm not a lawyer. It could have been a statute of limitation. You know what I'm saying? That she couldn't sue, you know, take him to court and they couldn't charge him or whatever. I don't know, okay? But the civil suit, you know, I just feel as though, and a lot of us feel as though the way that he solved it so quickly and settled it so quickly, it was because if they would have went through that discovery phase, it's some more stuff that he probably does not want to get out that's even worse than that. But people that's saying, oh, I'm mad she settled or whatever, and it just coming off as a money grab. No, what this did was to cleanse her. That's part of her process of healing. And you want to know what it also did? Even though he settled real quick, hell, Michael Jackson, I had said this, Michael Jackson went through what he did, went through with those cases. And that motherfucker was adamant that he ain't do shit. And he fought until he was forced to settle. You know, this motherfucker settled less than 24 hours afterwards. So it's some shit, in my opinion, that he don't want else to come out. But what this also did was open the doors for others to come out if they want to, for others to stand out if they want to, if there is anything. And, you know, of course, they bringing up the stuff with Kim Porter and her passing, and there was an alleged book that was coming out. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not about to start, but stuff just got me looking like, I don't know. This is not one of those situations that you play games with or whatever. If you one of those people that, you know, feel, oh, well, it's all about the money, please, I don't need to see the comments, okay? I stand for anybody who want to come out against abuse, and I do not like people who lie about the abuse that they have. Case in point, Tiger Woods. Y'all seen Tiger Woods' ex? The one day he basically dropped her ass off at the airport, and when she came back, the locks was changed. Yeah, basically what happened with her, she tried to accuse him or his team of SA, sexual assault, and she was filing a lawsuit against him and all that stuff. Now it's come out that she dropped the lawsuit, or either it got dismissed, or she dropped the charge that she was sexually assaulted. She said it never happened. That bitch needs to be charged with something. She needs to be charged with fucking lying, and that bitch needs to go to fucking jail for that. That's how I feel. If you're gonna lie on somebody, you know, just lie on somebody, and it comes out that you lied, bitch, take your ass to fucking jail too. I don't give a fuck who you are. I really don't. Girl, what the fuck is this? But anyway, I hope this brings some type of closure and healing to Cassie, and I really respect the fact that her husband has been there championing her the whole way through. Her husband probably was the one that probably went on ahead and said, you need to do this, you know, and not in a way so that he can be using her too, but it just makes sense. And people was like, it makes sense how come every time Diddy would say something, and then the husband, Alex Fine, Cassie's husband, would be on his ass. I said, you know what? I get it. The industry, I wouldn't want my child in the industry. I really wouldn't. It's just full of predators, especially for a girl, especially for a woman. It's so sad. And it's sad that men get SA too, but and they get preyed upon in the industry as well, but people don't take it as serious. And I hate that. Each case needs to be taken as serious as the next and the one before, you know, whether it's man or woman. I'm not finna do too much more on this, and I'm gonna just say I'm not judging anybody. I don't care how long you took. I'm here for anybody that want to speak up on their abuse, and there's no time limit, and there's no guidelines as to when a person can speak up. And if you want to sue for money, bitch, sue for money for your pain and goddamn suffering, okay? And that's all I gotta say. This is not over for Diddy. That signing over for the settlement, that spoke volume, and I don't care what his lawyer said or whatever, saying that that's what they supposed to say, but we know differently, you know, because it was way too quick. Now, baby, if it would have, granted, and it was never going to go to trial. I just want y'all to understand, this was a civil suit. It was never going to go to trial. But baby, if you would have dragged this out for, you could have gave us a week, Diddy. You could have gave us a week. All right, then maybe, but you less than 24 hours, child. All right. But y'all tell me how y'all feel. Please, please, please be respectful, because you don't know who are reading these comments who've been through things. You know what I'm saying? So just be respectful in the comments. And I will see you guys later on today. Peace.